Wednesday, 23rd February, The Gap News this morning. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. 25,099 new COVID-19 cases, 1,510 hospital admissions. Hishammuddin positive for COVID-19. Workers cling on to life as strong winds rock window gondola. Russia accuses Ukraine of aggression. Asia stocks fall as Ukraine-Russian tensions climb. Canada Parliament backs Trudeau on emergency powers. And Dubai Tennis Championships, Novak Djokovic returns with win over Lorenzo Musetti. And now the news in full. The Health Ministry reported 25,099 COVID-19 cases on Monday. Health Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said 100 of the new cases, or 0.4%, were in categories 3, 4 or 5 at the time of diagnosis. The total number of infections now stands at 3,246,779. In a statement, Noor Hisham also said there were 1,510 new hospital admissions. He said 17,749 patients had recovered, bringing the total number of recoveries to 2,955,404. There were also 4 clusters reported. Monday's cases comprised 25,014 local infections, including 24,387 Malaysians and 627 foreigners, as well as 85 imported ones. Of these, 272 were being treated in intensive care units, ICU, with 104 COVID-19 positive and 168 suspected of being infected. They included 164 requiring respiratory assistance, with 60 positive and the remaining suspected of being infected. As of yesterday, 7,747 non-critical COVID-19 beds in hospitals and low-risk treatment centers were being utilized by patients, or 66% of the total capacity. COVID-19 ICUs were at 33% of the total capacity of 836 beds. Of the 1,510 patients who were hospitalized yesterday, 932 were in Category 1 and 2, while 578 were in Categories 3, 4 and 5. Malaysia's COVID-19 infectivity rate, R0, stood at 1.19. Senior Defence Minister Datuk Seri Hishammuddin Hussein has tested positive for COVID-19, its office confirmed. The Sombrong MP, who has already received his vaccination booster, is currently undergoing mandatory quarantine. According to his office, Hishammuddin has been conducting periodic COVID-19 RT-PCR tests and is self-testing on a regular basis, with his last test on Friday turning out to be negative. Several construction workers who were on board a window gondola at the TS Law Tower at Jalan Kemuning in Kuala Lumpur faced a terrifying ordeal yesterday afternoon when the platform was struck by strong winds. The incident, which took place during stormy weather, made its rounds on social media after political cartoonist Zulkifli Anwar Haque, known as Zuna, shared footage of the gondola swinging violently hundreds of feet above the ground. The incident also saw the gondola damaging some windows and beams as it swung from one side of the building to another. Fortunately, the workers were able to climb off the gondola to safety with no injuries reported. The Kuala Lumpur Fire and Rescue Department said it received a distress call via its MERS 999 hotline at about 3:56 p.m. before dispatching an auxiliary machine to the location. In a statement, the department's operations center said a team of 4 firemen was sent to the scene of the incident. Russia's ambassador has spoken. The country is a permanent member of the UN Security Council and argued for the need to defend Russian-backed separatist areas of Ukraine from what he called Ukrainian aggression. Vasily Nebenzia said that allowing a new bloodbath in the Donbass is something we do not intend to do. He said Russia remains open to diplomacy and insisted Ukraine is still bound by the Minsk Agreement. The agreement set out steps designed to end the 8-year-old conflict in Ukraine's east and resolve the status of the breakaway areas. Earlier, the U.S. ambassador accused Moscow of tearing it to shreds. The US believes Russia is trying to produce a pretext to invade Ukraine, potentially on the grounds of protecting ethnic Russians in the country. Asian stocks slipped on Tuesday on fears that escalating Ukraine-Russia tensions will impede economic recovery. Japan's Nikkei 225 index fell almost 2%, while the Kospi in South Korea lost 1.4% in early trading. There are concerns that rising tensions in Eastern Europe will cause oil prices to rise and worsen the supply chain disruptions businesses face. Russian President Vladimir Putin has recognized Ukraine's breakaway rebel-held regions as independent states. The self-declared People's Republic of Donetsk and Luhansk are home to Russian-backed rebels who have been fighting Ukrainian forces since 2014. Russia's move effectively ends peace talks in the region, which has been under a tenuous ceasefire for years. The jitters among investors come as the global economy is still recovering from the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Canada's parliament has backed the government's decision to impose emergency powers to deal with weeks-long protest blockades against COVID restrictions. The motion passed with 185 votes to 151 on Monday, with the support of the Liberals and the left-leaning NDP. Over the weekend, police cleared the final protest site in Ottawa on streets around Parliament Hill. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked the Emergencies Act early last week. Earlier on Monday, the Liberal Prime Minister defended the continued use of the temporary emergency measures, saying that the situation across the country is still fragile and they are needed to prevent new blockades. He said the powers would not be kept in place for a single day longer than necessary. And now for some sports news. Novak Djokovic says he had the best possible experience in returning with a win at the Dubai Tennis Championships in his first match since being involved in a vaccination and visa saga in the build-up to the Australian Open. The world number one became the focus of a global story when he was deported from Australia on 16 January because of his COVID-19 vaccination status. But on his return to action, he saw off Italy's Lorenzo Musetti 6-3, 6-3. A pleasant experience, he said. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. 25,099 new COVID-19 cases, 1,510 hospital admissions. Hishammuddin positive for COVID-19. Workers cling on to life as strong winds rock window gondola. Russia accuses Ukraine of aggression. Canada Parliament backs Trudeau on emergency powers. Asia stocks fall as Ukraine-Russian tensions climb. And Dubai Tennis Championships, Novak Djokovic returns with win over Lorenzo Musetti. This has been the Gap News this morning, Wednesday, 23rd February, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We certainly welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.